Welcome to ExactTax demo. ExactTax is a complete GST solution software that helps in gathering and compiling the invoices and other tax data from various sources like ERP and any accounting software. ExactTax facilitates filing the returns to the GST network in the format that is required by GST. It is a role-based software where you can create multiple roles and later assign different responsibilities to those roles with respect to filing of GST returns. This demo displays the functionality of two roles, accountant and the manager. So, let's log into the product using the first role, that is, the accountant user. You can notice that there are multiple GSTINs listed here that are assigned to this user. This accountant is right now responsible for all GSTINs which are displayed on the screen. In a legal entity, typically there are two users, an accountant and a manager, who are responsible for the filing process. It is the responsibility of the accountant to get all the transactions into ExactTax, review them, and take any necessary action if needed. Once this is done, the accountant can then submit for approval. Here, manager is the approver, and once the manager approves the transactions, the accountant will then be responsible for saving, submitting, and filing with the GST network. So right now in this demo, we will cover the particular workflow that occurs from the accountant user to the manager user and vice versa. For this, let's select one of these GSTINs directing you to the landing page of ExactTax as you can see in the screen now. The dashboard that you are currently viewing is empty as there is no data available. Once the accountant imports the data and completes the classification of the imported transactions, he or she can view the dashboard with this populated data. The dashboard that you are currently viewing is configurable, which means every user can have a customized view of the dashboard based on his or her role. Thus, a chartered accountant, a tax consultant, a finance manager, or a CFO can have their respective views. Once the accountant is working with one GSTIN, he or she has an option of switching between different GSTINs. This is where he or she can switch without logging out. But at any given point of time, a single user can work on one GSTIN only. Now, let's proceed to GSTR1 filing feature. This is GSTR1, which is the outward supplies return. The accountant's responsibility is to pull all the transactions into the system processed by the GSTIN. This is where it can be done, and here the accountant can also view the period of returns. For now, let's choose June. All the transactions on or before June can be displayed, imported, filed, and finally saved. Before importing them into the system, let's view the template that is used to retrieve the data into ExactTax. We already have the sample data here for the demo purpose. ExactTax supports both Excel and CSV format. Now let's view the Excel file that consists of this specific data. You can see both headers and lines. So, once the data is ready in this Excel format, it can be imported into ExactTax. Here, let's import for the June period. Once the import is done, the accountant can see the status here that is displayed as a status report. The status report notifies that the total header records are 435 and lines are 471 which have been successfully imported and so on. And you also have failed records. This is due to the reason that there might be a header without lines or lines without any headers and any other errors. All these failed transactions migrate into the failed records menu. Here, there is an option of editing these values, and once the accountant edits them, he or she can save and revalidate these values. Once done, all such records get diverted to the main queue if they are correct, else they would remain in the failed records. Let's get back to the outward transactions feature. Here you can notice that there are 433 records that have been imported successfully, wherein 290 are related to other GSTINs and 143 are related to the current GSTINs. Once these records are classified, the accountant can proceed with the import process, which means he or she can import the outward transactions for all the GSTINs that are available in his or her legal entity. But at any point of time, he or she can work with only one GSTIN. You can see that a Classify button is available here. The functionality of this button is that it separates and then categorizes these records into their related GSTNs. Now, when we click the button, all records get categorized based on the respective transaction types. Once they are classified here, you can notice the following status. 290 are related to other GSTIN and 143 are related to the current GSTIN and 119 have been validated successfully. The 24 records which fails to get validated will be available in the failed records and has to be resolved, similar to any other failed record. If you notice, these records get categorized into different tables here, labeled as 5, 5A, 6, 6A, 7, 7A and so on. There are 22 tables like this that the GSTN has specified for outward transaction returns, which is a GSTR1 return. So, table number 5 denotes the invoices of a registered person and 5A refers to amendments of such invoices. Here, amendments refer to the corrections or changes. This means if the accountant has filed an invoice and subsequently in the next month he or she realizes that there was some correction to be made, he or she can actually proceed with the amendment to that invoice. Hence, the accountant sends that invoice as a correction in the next month that will be taken care in the 5A section as amendment. There are certain interstate large consumers who do not have a registered GSTN. Large consumers are those consumers whose total value of their invoice transactions is about 2.5 lakh rupees. And B2Cs and other consumers whose invoice value is less than 2.5 lakhs are treated as small consumers for interstate, and for all interstates there can be CDN, which is credit or debit notes, advance payments and so on. For all these types, there are almost 22 categories in this particular outward transaction return. So, once the classification is done, the accountant can drill down further into this section. You can notice here that there are invoices which are in this B2B section. B2B is an acronym that we give for Registered Person Invoices. And here, the accountant can use the feature to modify the invoices. These are the headers, and once the accountant navigates here, he or she can view the lines that this specific invoice has. The accountant can further modify these lines. But the accountant has to be careful when he or she is going to make any modifications here in exact tax. Typically, these are the invoices which are being retrieved from another ERP system or any other accounting software system. Hence, if the accountant makes any changes for these invoices in exact tax, they wouldn't be reflected in his or her source systems. So, it's always better that the accountant make changes in the source system and then re-import them, or if the accountant makes any changes here, he or she needs to go back to the source system and also make the same changes to the data. Once the accountant is done with the review of all these invoices, if she or he feels that everything is fine, then he or she can submit these invoices for approval. So, once the accountant clicks the Submit for Approval button, these particular invoices that you see here under the Classified Records tab will get displayed under the Approval Pending tab. Right now, there is nothing in the Approval Pending tab because he or she hasn't submitted any invoices for approval. So, once the accountant clicks this button, a message is notified asking whether he or she wants to proceed or not. The accountant can notice that there are no more invoices in the Classified Record tab. So, under the Approval Pending tab, the accountant can view all his or her invoices that have been submitted for approval. In exact tax, the accountant can actually track his or her invoices and its status at any given point of time. So, once the accountant submits the invoices for approval, he or she can subsequently log out and then log in as a manager, as it is the responsibility of the manager to approve or reject the submitted invoices. So, once the accountant submits them for approval, an automatic alert will be sent to the manager notifying that the invoices are pending for approval. It is the turn of the manager to log in, wherein he or she can select the same GSTIN here. Now, in this dashboard, the accountant can view the changes. Earlier, there was nothing shown in this dashboard as there was no data at that point of time. Now that we have imported the outward transactions and our CS invoices here, the accountant can notice that this particular pie chart shows the percentages and the number of B2B invoices as well as the number of B2C invoices and the percentage of the total invoices. So, once the manager logs in, he or she has to navigate to the outward transactions. As the invoices have been submitted by the accountant, the manager can access the Approval Pending tab where he or she has the option to review the invoices, and if they are fine, it can be approved, or if there are any errors, it can be rejected. All these rejected invoices get reverted to the accountant and displayed under the Rejected Records tab, prompting the accountants to make changes as requested by the manager. The accountant can subsequently correct such invoices and resubmit them for approval. All such records will now be available under the Resubmitted Records tab. Once these records have been approved, these get routed to Approved Records tab. For demo purpose, let's approve these records. And here, the manager can also type certain comments which can be read by the accountant. Since these records have already been approved, these are not available in the Approval Pending tab but can be viewed in the Approved Records tab. Now, let's log out as a manager and log in as an accountant. Once these records are approved, the accountant has to save, submit and file these records to the GSTN. There are 3 steps that an accountant has to follow. The accountant can save the records to GSTN any number of times. Here, all these records are available in Approved Records tab. Now, as a first step, just save the records, which means sending all these invoices to GSTN and saving them. This can be done multiple times. But remember that the accountant can submit only once, and once they have been submitted, he or she has no option to make any changes. But once they are saved, the accountant cannot make any changes to the data. If the accountant wants to modify the data, he or she can send a flag notifying that he or she wants to modify the saved data. The accountant can make changes and save data. Also, if the accountant wants to delete a record in the GSTN, he or she can send a flag saved in and invoices get deleted from the GSTN. After the accountant has submitted these invoices, the next step is to file the submitted invoices. So, what is the exact difference between submission and filing? Submit refers to freezing, which means the accountant is prohibited to make any changes in the invoices. Whereas in the filing process, the Aadhaar number and the digital signature get authenticated for submitting the invoices. Now let's take a saved GSTN, which is in the JSON format that gets generated when the accountant clicks the Save to GSTN button. This is the format that GSTN understands, and probably the accountant can save for future reference once this is done. Now the invoices in the outward transactions have been routed to the Save to GSTN section. Once they are saved, the next stage is to submit these invoices. Click Submit to GSTN to submit the invoices. Remember that submission is freezing the invoices. This again generates a JSON format which is understandable by the GSTN site. Once submitted, these invoices get routed to the Submitted to GSTN section. Now, these invoices need to be filed with GSTN. Please note that in this demo version, the real authentication process is not demonstrated, but practically, there is an authentication process that takes place based on Aadhaar number or the digital signature, among other things pertaining to that person or an entity. Once the accountant is done with the filing process, outward transactions are routed here. Note that the June month's transactions have been selected for filing. There is also another feature, GSTN1, that is available, which can be used to generate the GSTN1 PDF. The accountant can use this feature in case the accountant wants to print all the invoices that have been filed in the month of June. Thus, a PDF can be generated with filed invoice data. If you observe, this is exactly the same format as the GSTIN has provided for outward supplies return for the year 2017, the June month, the name of the taxpayer's GSTIN and the taxpayer's company name. These are the invoices that have been filed for that particular month. Hence, this is an extra feature in ExactTax that lets an accountant to save his file for future or audit purpose. Accordingly, the accountant needs to file the sales return from 1st to 10th of every month. Government blocks the time frame between 11th to 15th, which means the accountant is not allowed to file his or her company's outward transactions between this blocked period. On the other hand, the GSTR 2A returns, which is actually the purchase data inward transactions as reported by the accountant supplier, will be available from 11th onwards. So, the accountant is expected to download it from GSTN site, reconcile with his or her purchase data and then resubmit it on 15th of every month. Let's see how this can be done in ExactTax. Navigate to GSTR 2A where there's a feature that allows downloading that data which is available on GSTN. For demo purpose, there is some sample data which has been simulated since we wouldn't be practically interacting with GSTN here. These are the inward transactions which have been downloaded. Note that 2A is available in ExactTax and then 2A is also accessible from the GSTN site. In the same way, there might be inward transactions recorded on the accountant's ERP on any other system. The accountant can further import these inward transactions pertaining to his or her purchase data again, which will exactly be the same GSTR1 transactions. The process is same pertaining to the import, wherein the accountant reviews and checks whether all the invoices are fine or not and then submits them for approval. Once these get approved, the accountant can go ahead and save them, submit and finally file them to GSTN. But here you can find a difference, which is the reconciliation part. So, now you have 2A which is originating from GSTN and the GSTR2 which is actually originating from the accountant's source system, that is, the system where he has actually recorded the inward transactions. The government experts to find mismatches for reconciliation between GSTR2 and the GSTR2A. This is where the ExactTax product has a strong unique value proposition to offer, wherein the mismatch section GSTR2 that is originating from the accountant's system is compared with 2A which is originating from the GSTN site, and accordingly the mismatch data gets displayed here. So once the system displays the mismatches here, there are three options: accept, reject or modify that an accountant can use. Please note that there could be three types of differences. 1. Difference pertains to the accountant's source system from where he or she has to record the inward transactions, but his or her supplier might not have reported on the GSTN. The second type of difference could pertain to mismatch due to non-recording of the accountant's transaction in his or her own system versus the transactions reported by the supplier in the GSTN. The third type of difference relates to the mismatch of values. This can be possible when the inward transactions recorded by the accountant in the system is being compared with the transactions reported by his or her supplier in the GSTN, where they may have some mismatch of values. To take care of this aspect, there are three options available such as accept, reject, modify. When the accountant chooses the accept option, he or she assumes that whatever his or her supplier has reported on the GSTN are correct. Once accepted, the invoice gets reflected in GSTR2. When the accountant thinks that the invoice is not correct or has certain deficiencies, he or she can click the reject button, wherein an email gets generated and then sent to the supplier notifying that the invoice is not correct and has to be rectified, starting the reconciliation process. Government on its part provides a grace time of 90 days for this reconciliation process. So within this month, if the accountant is not able to reconcile with his or her supplier, a log of all these reconciled invoice transactions is maintained and populated in the next month until the 90 days period. Hence, this 90 days period is actually counted from the date of invoice. And there is another option wherein the accountant can directly go ahead and modify the values. For instance, let's assume that in the accountant's source system, he or she has recorded a value of 100 pieces and quantity also as 100. However, if his or her supplier has mistakenly reported 200 instead of 100, then if the accountant wants to accept the supplier reported quantity, that is 200, he or she can go ahead and change the quantity for that invoice to 200, which gets reflected in GSTR2. So, once the accountant is done with this reconciliation process, he or she can file GSTR2. Once GSTR2 is filed, the subsequent process is quite similar to the one that has already been demonstrated for GSTR1. Once this is filed, there is 2A, which displays the differences in the purchases. Similarly, there can be differences in the sales as well. This one also gets populated on GSTN, which the accountant can import. Hence, a feature is available that lets the accountant import 1A from the GSTN site. Now let's understand the difference between 1A and 2A. 2A consists of the complete data of the inward transactions. Whether the data matches or doesn't match is immaterial, but 2A shows the complete list of inward transactions. On the other hand, 1A will only have the mismatched data. However, 1A gets populated only when there are any data mismatches. Apart from that, in 2A, the accountant can accept, modify or reject data, whereas in 1A, the accountant can only accept and reject data. So, in a perfect scenario, 1A would be empty, which does not require any reconciliation. And in case if there are some mismatches, then the process for the reconciliations is very similar to what an accountant can do for 2 and 2A. So, once the GSTR1 is filed and freezed and 2 is also filed and freezed, then GSTR3, which is the summary of the inward and outward transactions, would become ready on the GSTN site for download. To do so, there's an option which lets the accountant download this sheet from GSTN. So, this is the dashboard of the GSTR3 where the accountant can view the outward and the inward supplies. The data pertaining to the outward supplies relates to the summary of the sales, interstate supplies to registered taxable persons, and total of intrastate supplies to the registered persons. And the data pertaining to the inward supplies, which are basically the purchases related to the interstate supplies received and the total of intrastate supplies received. This is the summary of the sales returns and the purchase returns. Apart from that, there are also certain additional features like audit log. If any user makes any change, that change gets logged and displayed in audit log, which helps the accountant to track the changes in the transactions. And another important feature is archive data, which enables the accountant to push the past returns, say 10 months or even 1 year down the line, into a backup folder for future reference. Hence, this feature acts as a backup for saving all the past records. So right now, APIs are available for GSTR1, 1A, 2, 2A and 3. As and when the GSTN comes up with the latest release with new APIs for the new returns, those APIs and returns would also be available in this product. And ExactTax has a team of CAs who are in the process of reviewing the law and the necessary amendments, wherein these amendments as specified by GSTN would be incorporated into the product very soon. In addition to that, there's an advanced analytics feature that allows the users to work on these reconfigurable dashboards. This concludes the demo on ExactTax. Exact Tax is a complete GST solution product by Cellotech Private Limited. Thank you.